Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this video, we are going to see current affairs of 3rd August 2023. So let's get started with our discussion, and for yesterday's questions, the best answers given by Neetu, and next one is Kavya, Lucky, and Aditya and Nawaz. So I congratulate you students and keep rocking. So first topic it is about from state visit to a more robust trade relationship. So this article is talking about India-US relations. So it is talking about India-US relations. So what you have to focus? You have to focus on how in future we are going to improve the trade relations between India and US. So what are the opportunities which are present before India? So apart from that, you can see different areas of cooperation. You can see different areas of cooperation, and as well as what are the challenges that we can see between India and USA. So this topic is important from international relations, which comes in as US paper 2. And next topic is Coop in Niger. So you have to see exactly location of Niger, and here you have to see Sahel region. And actually in last year the question was which of the following countries comes under Congo basin. So in the same way you can expect a question like, so which of the following countries which are part of Sahel region. So your homework is you have to see which are the countries which are forming the part of this Sahel region. Okay, and here you have to see what is the issue which is going on in Niger, and here you have to see what is the response of other countries, that is from international relations point of view. So how other countries they want to come up with or settle up a peace in this Niger. So this topic is important from your international relations, and this is also important from your GS paper 2. And here map location, map work is very important, and even you have to see which are the countries sharing boundary with this Niger. Okay, and next one is linear regression. So this article which is mainly talking about one important thing, that is the suspension of one organization head. So here you have to see what is its organization. So what are the functions of that organization? So this topic is important from governance point of view, which comes in the GS paper 2. And next topic is the counters of India's formal job crisis. So we're talking about employment. We have formal jobs and informal jobs. So this article which is focusing on this formal jobs. So here we have to see what is the data, and you have to also analyze what are the reasons. So please try to think and let me know what are the reasons for the stagnation of this formal jobs in India. So according to your opinion, okay. And this topic is important from economy, which comes in a GS paper 3. And next topic is Jeddah, that is a hope for peace in Ukraine. So major countries, okay. So major developed countries, and even India is going to participate in the peace talks that we are going to have soon in this Jeddah, okay, Jeddah region. So in this peace talks, it is going to be between Russia and Ukraine, settlement of peace between Russia and Ukraine. So here you have to see 10-point agenda. Here you have to see 10-point agenda which came up by Ukraine. And here you have to see why the establishment of peace is important. So why even Africa is participating in this peace talks. So these are some important points that you have to know. And next one is government kicks off contractual dispute settlement system. So here we got a scheme, and this scheme already came up by our finance minister in our union budget. So this is Vivad Se Vishwas scheme. So this is the second version, that is Vivad Se Vishwas scheme 2, and you have to know what are the key highlights. So which is implemented by which ministry and who are all covered here under this scheme. So all these things that you have to know, and this topic is important from both your economy and as well as governance point of view. So these are the topics now we are going to see in this video. So this is just introduction, and we are going to see detailed analysis now. So first topic it is about India-US relations. So title says from state visit to a more robust trade relationship. So we are going to have a good trade relationship if we are taking some steps. So here this article says that the trade between India and the US, that is going to be around $500 to $600 billions in future. So by 2030, the target here is we have to increase the trade between India and US. It should be around $500 billion to $600 billion. So this is a target. So here, as an UPSC aspirant, you have to know some basic facts regarding India-US relations and where there is a difference between India and US. So why this is news? So recently in June, our Prime Minister, he visited USA. So why this is significant? Because from the last 14 years, so not even a single Indian head of the state he visited USA. But Prime Minister Modi ji, he visited USA. So he is the only third for an Indian leader in 75 years since Indian independence who visited USA. So because of this, it is a great importance. Okay. So this is the one important thing that entered into the quota of Prime Minister, sir. Okay. So if you're talking about what is the current scenario of India and US relations. So first, if you're talking about from economic front. So from economic front, from US and India, both countries, they have the trade. So this is called as bilateral trade. So what is this bilateral trade? So this bilateral trade between these two countries, which has grown 10-fold times. So if you are comparing the trade from 2000 and now in 2022, so there is a rapid increase in the trade, that is 10x times. So you will be watching the speed of this video like 1.5x, 2x, right? So in the same way, if you are comparing the trade between India and US in 2000 and now in 2022, so there is 10x time of increasing of trade. So this is the first one. And even India became the 9th largest US trading partner in 2021. And even US is India's largest trading partner, right? And if you're talking about trade between India and US, so India is enjoying trade surplus. So trade surplus means we are exporting more. We are exporting more than compared to that of imports. Less imports and imports are less and exports are more. So we are enjoying trade surplus with this US. And if you're talking about political like-mindedness, so where these two countries, they are coming together in this political ideology. So actually these two countries, they are coming together for the continued growth, to establishment of peace and as well as prosperity in which region? That is in Indo-Pacific region. So as you all know that there is a power shift from the west towards east. And now there is increased significance of this Indo-Pacific region. So in this Indo-Pacific region, so India plays a very important role because India is sharing boundary with this Indian Ocean directly. So India provides an opportunity for USA. If USA, which is having the friendly relationship with India, then what happens? So there will be also increasing of significance of USA in this Indo-Pacific region. So this is the first important common point between India and US. And next one is India also joined US-led Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity. And even on another side, there are some contradiction, that is opposite side. That is Russia-Ukraine crisis. So here Russia is important for India because we are getting oil at the discounted price and we are getting our technology, even we are getting technology transfer also from Russia and we are getting defense equipment from Russia. So in all the ways, here Russia is helping India and Russia is all-weather friend. Russia is all-weather friend for India. So in this context, if you see, Russia is rivalry to USA. So in this way here, there is some points which are opposite to USA. So this is the first one. And even in Afghan issue and even in Iran. So Iran, there is Iran's nuclear deal or JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So what happened? Western countries, they imposed sanctions on Iran. And here, do you know about this CAATSA, that is Countering American Adversaries Through Sanction Act? So here there is a fear of CAATSA for India, that if India imports oil from Iran, so CAATSA will be imposed by USA on India. Okay, so these are some important contradictions between India and USA. And if you're talking about in defense field, so India, which could not access US weapons during this Cold War time, but nowadays from last 2 decades onwards, we are getting equipment from USA, right? And even India and USA, they are part of different exercises. For example, Youth Abhyas. So let me know this Youth Abhyas, it is army exercise or naval exercise. And we have Vajra Prahar, and even we have Quad. Even we have Malabar exercise. So in all these things, yes, India and USA, they are members. And if you're talking about foreign policy of India, India came up with multi-aligned foreign policy. So India said that, yes, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that means world as a one family. So PM of our country described world as one family. It is nothing but Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam to frame Indians diplomacy. So this term, this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is nothing but multi-alignment. And one more here is, you have to think about Cold War. So if you go back to 1960s, so during this Cold War era, so there were two power blocks formed. So one is led by USA and another is led by USSR. So at that time here India, which is a third nation or developing country, so which do not want to align towards this Russia or USA. So at that time India came with a concept called as non-alignment. So why non-alignment? Because developing countries like India or third world countries, they are facing issues like increased poverty, hunger, economic crisis, balance of payment crisis. So these are the challenges they have to address. So if they want to move towards another country, what happened? There will be diversion in the idea, right? So because of this, at that time, your third world countries, which led by India, we came up with this concept of non-alignment. So because of this non-alignment also, so we have some issues with USA. So if we're talking about what are the major challenges between India-US relations. So what are the challenges? So first one is US always criticizes India's foreign policy. Okay, India's foreign policy of non-alignment. So this non-alignment which came in during 1960s, especially during this Cold War era. Okay, so US always criticizes this foreign policy. And even 9/11 attacks, here USA asked India to dispatch troops to Afghanistan, but Indian military vetoed the request. And when this US attacked Iraq in 2003 also, yes, at that time also India did not support the US regarding the providing of this military support. So this is also some issues. And next one is India is coming up with engagement with US adversaries. For example, Iran and as well as Venezuela oil that we are getting. And next one is even with China also we are having 18 rounds of talks. So why? Because from 2020 onwards, so there is a military standoff. Where at LAC, line of actual control region, right? So here this is one issue. So here always between US and as well as China, so there was trade war like issues, right? So these two are adversaries and we are coming up with the talks with China to normalizing of relations at this LAC. So this is also an important issue. And we are also seeing there is economic tensions because during this COVID-19 period, especially to promote domestic industries. Domestic industries means the industries which are present in India. So at that time, Government of India came up with this campaign called as Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat is also called as self-sufficient India. So we are focusing on self-sufficiency. So here this exacerbated in the view of US that India is increasingly becoming a protectionist and closed market economy. So this is also one important issue here. So because of that, even in 2019, so US had decided to withdraw duty-free benefits under this program, that is GSP, Generalized Special Preference. So this is about the issues between India and US. I hope it is very much clear. And your homework is please go to the map and please let me know what are the water bodies, which are present around this US. And I want to give you one main question for practice, that is, while Indian US policies are at variance in countries such as Russia, Iran and Afghanistan, China is the one interest that aligns two countries together, hence offers a good possibility to cooperate. Comment. So here you have to see location of China. So this is India and here we have China, right? And with China we are sharing direct boundary. And here we have Indian Ocean and here we have Pacific Ocean. So because of increasing of relevance of Indo-Pacific region and this China, it is one of the common interest, okay, for USA and as well as for India. And because of this common interest, so USA is coming closer to India. So you can write the answer in this way and you can give some examples why China, it is a common interest for these two countries and why these two countries are aligned together. So this is the question and this is the model answer or body that you have to address. And now let us see the next topic. It is about coup in Niger. So as I said, this topic is important from international relations and you can get a question like the capital city and as well as country or place in news and as well as country. So this thing which happened in 2022 prelims and 2023 prelims also. So now let us try to see this topic in detail. So this article which is focusing on Niger coup. So the ouster of Niger's president Mohamed Bazoum on July 26th, it is a blow against political stability. So whenever there is a coup against the president of country, means what happened? There is collapse of government. That will lead to collapse of government. So because of collapse of government, we can also see there will be political instability. Political instability arises. Right, so because of this political instability in this nascent democracy, so it is taking some efforts to counter fast spreading of Islamic insurgency in the Sahel region. So what are the steps taken by the government? That will be coming to East. Right, so actually this person who is president, who became president of this Niger in 2021. And at that time there was a peaceful democratic transition that is seen from the French in 1960s. So actually this person who focused on building of strong security partnership with US, France and even he also maintained proper troops based in Niger. So he had built a strong security partnership with US, with France and they mainly have the troops based in Niger. So here there is increased pressure on this president and also he focused on building of army and his rule which is struggling to meet people's expectations. So this is one important issue. And the sections of military, they were frustrated with the spread of insurgency in the south and they were even unhappy with the ruling, okay, and even over dependence on the France and presidents who also had taken some steps to curtail military influence and actually he forced some military generals to retire and he also sent others abroad and he also cut back on the perks, okay, given in the presidential guard. So these are the steps taken and because of this military coup happened. So now let us try to see what exactly the reasons. The first and the foremost thing here is, here mutinous soldiers, they are calling themselves the National Council for safeguarding the country and they cited the reasons such as deteriorating of security and there is poor economic and social governance. And even here they took control of state television and they announced the suspension of all institutions, asserting their security forces. We are managing the situation. And if you're talking about one more thing here, the attempted coup was allegedly triggered by President decision to relieve the head of presidential guard. Okay, that is whenever the presidential guard who is removed from the position. So this is also an important reason for the outrage of this coup. So what are the implications? The implication says the coup poses a significant challenge to efforts by Western countries to stabilize this Sahel region. So in the Sahel region, there is rapid spread of ISIS is happening, Islamic State. So they are taking some necessary steps to control this. So whenever the coup is happened, means it will arrest the efforts taken by the government. And next one is Niger was seen as an important partner in the region, but coup raises concerns about political instability. And because of this political instability, it will be also having some impact on the security cooperation as well. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see the map of Niger. So here in this region Niger is located, and here we have Burkina Faso, and here we have Nigeria, Chad, Libya, Algeria, Mali. And now let us see what are the challenges and concerns. So Niger is facing some security challenges now because of Islamist groups like Al-Qaeda and Islamic State in Sahel region. And these groups, they carried out attacks, and that led to destabilizing of country in the border region. And even Niger ranks among the world's most poorest countries, and they are facing the significant challenges of poverty, access to education, healthcare, infrastructure development. So it had not been met. So if we're talking about one prelims based question that you may get here is, consider the following statements regarding Niger. So official language of Nigeria is Arabic, and Sahara Desert, which covers the majority of Nigeria's territory. So try to give me the correct answer for this question. So now let us try to see the next topic. Title says linear regression. So this article, which is mainly talking about IIPS head. So here you have to see what is IIPS. So what are the functions? That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So if we're talking about this article, which is talking about IIPS, it stands for International Institute for Population Sciences. So what it stands for? International Institute for Population Sciences. So why it is in news? So recently, central government suspended director of this IIPS because of irregularity in recruitment. So because of this irregularity in recruitment, so this director of this IIPS had been suspended by central government. So here you have to see some facts regarding this IIPS. It is an autonomous institution. Where it is located? It is located in Mumbai in India. It serves as a premier research and training center in the field of population studies. So what is the important objective? So it will be doing population studies. So when this institution which established, this organization established in 1956. So actually it has established itself as a premier institute for training. It will be focusing on training and research in population studies. And it is focusing on especially developing countries. So which are those? Which are present in Asia and Pacific regions. And actually it is an autonomous agency which comes under which ministry? That is Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, it focuses on National Family Health Survey, and it will be coming up with National Rural Health Mission and Global Adult Tobacco Survey. So these are the works will be done. So what are the key activities? The first one is research, second one is training. So research, it will be done in the fields of population and population related issues, and including fertility, mortality, migration related studies, family planning, productive health, and as well as demographic changes. And this one is, it will be doing training. It will be also offering training. So training programs will be done by this IIPS, especially in population studies and demography and related fields. And it will be also focusing on data collection and analysis of data. And it will also helpful for the policy support. So it provides the technical assistance to and also the policy support to the government and organizations and population related matters. And if you're talking about publications, so this institute which publishes various reports and research papers and books related to the population studies and research findings which are accessible to the academic and policy community. So we're talking about collaboration. So IIPS collaborates with national and international organizations, universities and research institutions to foster a global network for the population research and knowledge exchange. And the question here is, why is the study of population significant? So what is the significance of population studies? So what are the challenges associated with the population studies, and what are the some potential way forward to address them? So the first question is, you have to write about what are the population study in introduction. In body you have to address 3 questions. So first one is significance of this population studies, and you have to write about what are the challenges and what is the way forward, or what are the measures. And finally you have to write conclusion. Okay, so please try to write answer for this question, and answer should be written within 250 words. And next topic, it is about formal job crisis in India. So if we're talking about employment, we have formal and we have informal. So formal means they will be enjoying social security benefits, and informal there will be no social security benefits. So what all will comes into the social security benefits? So please let me know, answer in the comment box. Okay, so now let us try to see this topic in this detail. So if you see this article which is talking about India's formal job crisis. So since 2017 onwards, so the data which released by Employee Provident Fund Scheme, so it is used as a measure of payroll enrollment, and as well as formal job creation in our country. So since 2017 onwards, so which data we are using? That is EPFO's data. So this EPFO data will give details regarding payroll employment, and it also gives the data regarding formal employment in India. So the monthly data released as part of this initiative is generally shown net increases in the number of contributors. So if you see the data released, so this monthly data says that there is increased number of contributors. That means it can say there is increased employment opportunities. Whenever there is increased employment opportunities, so these job seekers, they will be paying some amount as EPFO fund. So here this monthly data says that there is increasing of number of contributors. That means there is increasing of employment creation in the country. So if you are talking about the present situation, so India's population is very high or very huge, and as of now it is second largest populous country. So here in future, by 2030, so there are some reports or prospects says that, for example, United Nations Population Prospect Report says that India is going to bypass China in population in very soon. Right, so India overtakes China as most populous country in the world. So here we are facing increasingly educated and growing working age population. So because of this, we need to ensure, that is Government of India need to ensure good quality employment, and the relative absence of formal and well paid and as well as regular employment in country is striking issue now. So what happened? There is decreasing of formal jobs. So whenever there are decreasing of formal jobs, in formal jobs we are having the good pay scale, but the pay will be decreased and regular employment opportunities will be decreased, and this inhibits the expansion of its middle class, and this is the thing which mainly said in this article. And now we are facing a problem called as lack of quality jobs. So there is a lack of quality jobs in Indian economy. So because of this, large number of overqualified youth, they are applying for the few public or private job sector, and because of this, what happens? So we will be facing negative impact on our economic growth, and we can see there is also stagnation. There is decreasing of formal employment. So population is increasing on one side, and whenever there is stagnant of this job opportunities, that means we can see there will be decreasing of employment opportunities in India. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us see the next topic. It is about peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, and this topic is important from international relations, which comes in a GS paper too. And here also you have to do some map work. Open your atlas and you have to see which are the countries sharing boundary with Ukraine. So in 2023 UPSC prelims, so this is the question. So which are the following countries sharing boundary with Ukraine? Okay, so because of this, whenever you are seeing any country which is seen in news, you have to see the countries which are sharing their boundary, and you have to see nearby water bodies, if there is any river is there or not. Okay, so all these things that you have to see. And if you are talking about the context, it says that Saudi Arabia is set to host Ukraine, US, some European countries and major developing countries including India and Brazil for the peace talks. So which is the country hosting? That is Saudi is hosting. and it is regarding the peace talks on Russia-Ukraine war, and it is going to be happen on August 5th and 6th, and it is in the Red Port city of Jeddah. So if we're talking about the details, it says that Russia has shown no signs of retreating from the front lines. From now, it is like 17 months of military cooperation against neighbor Ukraine. So February 24th, on February 24th, 2022, so Russia started attacking Ukraine. So it is now around 17 months. So still the war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine. So here why? Because why this war it is still going on? Because of some reasons. So first one here is US and West, they are supporting Ukraine. So they are giving finance, they are providing equipment, they are providing defense equipment, right? And from the both the side, Ukraine says that we are going to win, and Russia says that we are going to win. So whenever these two countries they have the confidence that they are going to win, so why they will come for a peace talks? So they will not come, right? So if we're talking about the military position of this Ukraine, which has strengthened by the billions of dollars which is given by these Western countries, and even arms and equipment which is important for the war, so which is also supplied from the Europe and as well as US to Ukraine. And even United Nations Secretary General said that so this peace negotiations which is not going to be happen, because these two countries they have confidence that they will win. So because of that they are not going to come up with a peace talks soon. And actually 10-point peace plan already came up with this Ukraine president, and this is promoting since last year's G20 summit onwards. But what happened? So this is not accepted by Russia. Okay, so Russia rejected this plan, and Russia is unwilling to cede the captured territory, because in this 10-point peace plan, so it said that Russia needs to withdraw. And next one is Ukraine territorial integrity should be maintained as per 1991 borders, and Russia need to give the ceded territories to Ukraine back. So here Russia is not accepting for that, because in 2014 Crimea annexed by Russia. Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, and now this peace talk says that it should be according to 1991. So Russia is not at all accepting for this. So if you're talking about the peace initiatives proposed by Africa and other countries, so in June the leaders of 7 African countries, which led by South African president, so they came up with 10-point proposal which suggested the recognition of Russia and Ukraine sovereignty, and they also talked about release of prisoners, war prisoners. Why? Because food exports are very, very important. Africa is getting its imports of food grains from this Russia and Ukraine, and because of this war it had affected the food security of this Africa. And even one more thing here is, so they used to get fertilizers also from this Russia and Ukraine. So because of this stall, what happened? There is rising of inflation in the African continent. So this is one important issue. And if you are talking about the data, as per African Development Bank, the conflict is directly responsible for the shortage of about 30 million tons of grains in Africa. So already African continent which is facing hunger, which is facing malnutrition, right? So here if they are getting less number of food grains, means it will be affecting the food security, and even that will increase the hunger, malnutrition, increasing of deaths. So here if you see this infographic, you can see it is a 500 days of war in Ukraine, and you have to see some important areas. Here we have Kharkiv, and here we have Melitopol and Kherson, Odessa, and here we have one important port, that is Sevastopol port, and here we have Black Sea, and here we have Donetsk, Luhansk. So these are the areas which are captured by Russia. Okay, and if you move forward, the next topic is about government kicks off contractual dispute settlement scheme. So this scheme is, we will say, Vishwas scheme 2. And this topic is important from your economy and even from your governance point of view. So now let us try to see the context. The central government launched a settlement scheme for the contractual disputes with vendors or suppliers to the government. So the deadline here is October 31st. So here recently our finance minister announced the scheme, and the name of this scheme is Vividse Vishwas, it is contractual disputes. And this scheme is introduced even in our union budget as well. So this scheme will apply to all domestic contractual disputes and where one party is either government of India or an organization. So if we're talking about this scheme, what is the aim? The aim it is to promote ease of doing business and to cover disputes up to 30th, that is now the disputes till 30 September can be addressed, and last here is October 31st. And on whom this scheme will be applied? So this scheme will be applied one party is either government of India, for example public sector banks, public sector financial institutions and central public sector enterprises, union territories, National Capital Territory of Delhi, etc. And these disputes where claims are raised against procuring entities along with some other parties like state government or private party, so will not be eligible under this scheme. So here the central public sector enterprises, they are proposed to eligible to submit their claims under this scheme. And if we are talking about which are the disputes cover, so this scheme covers only domestic arbitration but not international arbitration. So this is very important prelims fact. So it will cover only domestic. And settlement of disputed tax and disputed interest, disputed penalty or disputed fees in relation to an assessment or reassessment order on payment of 100% of disputed tax and 25% of disputed penalty or interest rate. Okay, so here this is the thing under which this disputes covered. And this one is implementation. So we're talking about implementation. This scheme will be implemented through government e-marketplace. And what is the significance? It will helpful for the boosting of trust between the developer and as well as investor confidence, and it will free up financial resources locked in the disputes, and even it will be helpful for improving of ease of doing business ranking. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. Before that, I want to show you this important news, that is we came up with this mains answer writing practice in Rathod's IS Academy. So this had been started from 1st August and it is nothing like you had been late now. So you can join this course and you can write the answers from the first. Okay, so here we are going to cover your GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 along with essay and case studies, and we provide each and every model answer for each and every question, and we are also providing you with the detailed evaluation that you wrote for the answers that you wrote, and there will be live doubt clearing sessions on every Sunday, and the course cost is 8,200. So this is for 1 year. So if you want to improve your answer writing skills and if you want to see your name in the final list of UPSC, come and join us, and we are going to talk on the live soon. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can call me on this number 8074765513, and this is also WhatsApp and Telegram number. You can ping me there also. Okay, so now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu. Date is August 3 and today is Thursday. So here first article is Haryana clashes toll rises to 6. So now on Manipur and here in Haryana we are seeing the violent clashes. Okay, so this is mainly because of spread of communal violence, which is because of spread of misinformation. So because of this, internet shutdown is seen in this Haryana. And next topic is GST Council sticks to plan to collect 28% on online gaming. So this is a decision which taken by this GST Council in the 15th GST Council meet. And if you move on in the states page, the West Bengal government to survey unaided madrasas. So here you have to see what is madrasas. So madrasas, it is related to Muslims. So these are nothing but Muslim schools which teach Quran. And UP also facing lack of funds for the maintenance of madrasas. It is also in news. In the editorial page, I discuss this topic regarding the suspension of Director of IAPS. I discuss this topic regarding India-US relations. I discuss this topic regarding coup in Niger. And there is one article I left for you, that is deep tech startups. So what are the issues faced by these startups? And I discuss this topic regarding formal jobs. and I discussed this topic regarding the peace talks which led by Saudi. And in this news page you can see security intensified as tribes plan mass burial of 35 bodies. So this is also very important, go through this once. And if you move on, most of the articles are political articles in this today's newspaper. And one interesting thing here is one more cheetah died in Kuno National Park. So total here is 6. So out of 20 cheetahs we got 6 died, and we have to see how many will remain in future. And in the world page you can see streets turn into rivers as Beijing records heavy rainfall. So not only in India but even China is facing devastating floods now. And this one is China plans to limit children's smartphone time to 2 hours. So let me know your opinion whether this is a good step or not. So if you are a bureaucrat, so what are the opinion regarding this limiting the smartphone usage in children? So whether it is having the positives or negatives. So let me know your opinion. And next one is I discussed about this Vivid Se Vishwas 2 scheme, and one more article is important here is India passes law allowing the private firms to bid for and mine lithium. So you have to see the applications of lithium, where it can be used, and you have to see what is this lithium triangle, where it is located. So please let me know the countries which comes under this lithium triangle. And these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. So if you really like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this Rathod's IAS Academy and hit the bell icon so that you will be getting the notifications whenever we are posting the video, and try to share this video. Thank you so much.